Hello ladies and gents, it's Spoony Pizzas here with another Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 video, and today I'm bringing you how to start up a Master League with Tottenham Hotspur. Okay, so the first thing I do is go straight into the game plan menu and I set out the formation that I want to play. So you don't have to copy me, but you can see my tactics here anyway. So it's a fluid formation. Okay, so without possession of the ball, it's very similar to my my Spanish formation, and it depends how you want to play this right now. So with the Spain, I had 3 CMs here, but with Spurs, I didn't really have the central midfielders to be able to play it. So I've gone for defensive midfielders. I'm going to see how that goes. My only concern is there might be too big a gap between the attacking midfielders and defensive midfielders. So ideally, I want these to be central midfielders. So that will be determined how my transfers, how my negotiations and my transfers go. So I'll cover that off in a bit. Anyway, so that's out of possession, and moving across to in possession. So what you can see here is the left back and right back push up. You still got the attacking midfielders. The defensive midfielders then become central midfielders, but one of the defensive midfielders, Eric Dyer, falls into the back three. He just sort of sits ahead, just ahead of Alderweireld and Vertonghen. But he can play that role really well. He's a really good ball-playing defender. You look at his defensive prowess, ball winning. He's got that ability. 78 short pass, ball control 75. That's pretty good for a defender. And he's also got physicality as well. So there's a lot of physicality around this Spurs team, which makes it, such a potent side. Not only in the Premier League, but actually in PES as well. So they're very, got loads of physical players. Okay. So that's in possession, out of possession of the ball. Attacking instructions. So possession, short pass, central attacking area, maintain formation. 3 for support range, frontline pressure, middle containment, aggressive pressing, 8 for defensive line, 2 for compactness, attacking fullbacks, tick attacker, and counter target on Harry Kane. So that's exactly the same as my Spanish tactics. Okay, so once you've got your tactics sorted, the next thing you want to do is, like I said, is ideally I want to change these 3 to attacking midfield, central midfielders. So in order to do that, I just go into negotiations, went straight to advanced search, look for central midfielders, and then filtered by overall rating, and sort of went down and forget these ones, I would say, unless you're desperately desperate for them. But just I put in a bid for Modric, Busquets. Now he's a defensive midfielder, so at those 3, I've still got, one of those midfielders, Dembele, prefers to play central midfield. So if I'm going to go, I'm going to play 3 defensive midfielders, and it works well, then I'll go for Sergio Busquets. But if it doesn't go so well and I find there's a bit of a gap, then I can sign players where I'll show you who I've gone for. So you can see here, most of them are defensive midfielders. But you can see there I went for Modric. So it depends how these transfers go or negotiations go, and it depends how well this works. So if the defensive midfielders work, then great. I'll sign one of these 4 down here. If I think it's too big a gap between the defensive midfielder and attacking midfield, then I'll go for Modric. So it just leaves you a little bit of a backup plan. The next thing you want to do then is go into training again. And what you want to do is just make sure all these positions are how you want them to play. So you've got box to box there, and I don't really want him as box to box because he's an attacking midfielder. So I'm going to play him as a classic number 10, exactly the same as Eriksen. Okay, so he just fills in that hole. Depends what sort of stats you want to boost. I could go for the whole player. You know, these player cards. There's only a few that really impact the game. Anchorman is one that makes them stay back once they learn that. Box to box, they go up and back. Hold and classic, they play much the same. But again, depends which stats you want to boost. So that they'll sit in that just behind the striker. So it depends where you want them to play. Whole player might be a good idea, or you could go creative playmaker. They're pretty much the same, those three. Dummy runner means they don't really run towards goal. They try. What happens is they'll drag defenders away and create space for your attacking midfielders. So that could be a good one for Kane, but he's not really that type of player. If it was a sort of fast runner like Son or I don't know if I sign Martial or whatever, then he could be really good at that, running the channels. Goal poacher, so you've got, that means they're basically gonna sniff around the box, looking for goals in the 6-yard area. So all I would say is go through here and basically choose the styles that you want your team to play. So what I would say is get rid of balanced. That doesn't do any good whatsoever. For all my defenders, I tend to pick build up purely for the ball winning and defensive prowess boost on the stats. So you get three up arrows there for both those. So that's really good. So for my defenders, I always choose build up. Dyer is a funny one because he's a defensive midfielder that moves into defense. So I'd probably go with Anchorman. Danny Rose, offensive fullback, great. Or offensive fullback. Just make sure my right back and left back are offensive, because obviously I don't want someone sitting back when I want them up the field. The ones down here I'm going to leave as balanced because I'm going to sell all these, which you're going to see in a minute. All those down there, because they're just, I look at their projection. You can't see it here. And then, so that's the training, skill training. Now, the first thing I do is I skip all these because these aren't too important just yet. The most important ones are from heading all the way down to, I would say, depends what type of player they are, but I would say load off the pass. So if there's any players showing up here that you want to train, ideally someone in your first team straight away. So it was a bit of a difficult decision really, because it was, Kane's going to be getting a lot of headers, so I figured I'll choose Kane for heading. But it was a toss-up between that and one-touch pass for Eriksen. So that would be the next thing I train, because that's really important. These are all important skills. Rabona, not so much. That's just for flashiness. But it can help when you're crossing, because you'll get a crossing boost if they're on the wrong foot. So yeah, that's the skill training. That's how I'd start with skill training. I don't tend to bother youth team training. The next thing I do is go into my team, and anyone near the top that's not too old, I tend to put as refuse all from making club offers. This just narrows it down when people want to poach your players, so it doesn't waste your time. So put them to refuse. The players you want to definitely keep, just put refuse all. Players like Dembele, he's what is he? He's 31, 30. Okay, so that's why I went. Okay, I like him in my team, but if a big offer comes in, so that's why I put open to reasonable offers. If that forces teams to pay a bit more than they're actually worth. If a big team comes in for him, then I'll let him go. Dele Alli, obviously not going to sell him. Not going to sell Son. Wanyama, Dyer, Rose, Lucas Moura. I did actually put refuse. Same for Lamela, because the way I see it right is that Lucas Moura and Lamela can fill in for the attacking midfielders Eriksen and Ali. The only thing I haven't got really is up top I've got Kane and Son, who gives me a little bit of different options, so that's why I like keeping Son. And he can also play sort of in an SS role if I need to push one of my attacking midfielders forward. So he could fill that role as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup. The players down here, I just list and try to get rid of as soon as possible. I've already accepted an offer for Whiteman, but yeah, I just transfer list these and try and get them out the door as quickly as possible. Free up spaces for new signings, and you know, reduce the wage bill. Okay, so that's how I pretty much set up. So I'll be giving this a go and seeing how I get on, and then I'll keep you updated if you drop a comment below. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.